Next is catalytic property of these D block elements. This we have seen already. Following is the summary of transition metal catalysis process. So they are having the some catalytic properties. So in the case of contact process, we have used vanadium pentoxide, where in the sulfuric acid preparation. Next, cobalt and thorium. This is the alloy mixed of atoms, right? So where it is used synthesis of petrol. Okay, in the synthesis of petrol, the by Fischer Tropsch process. So that is the you don't worry about this one. There, D block elements are using. Now finely divided nickel element. So in hydrogenation, alkenes, when you are making the alkanes, there it was used oils into fats to reduce it, that one that is used. And next one is spongy platinum. So where it is platinum, Ostwald process it is used. Ostwald process means what? In the preparation of HNO3, nitric acid, it is used. Next, iron. Iron where it is used, iron and molybdenum. Iron in the Haber's process. Use it as a promoter in the molybdenum, it is called the promoter. Okay, iron is called the basically catalyst. That FeMO both you have to take. Molybdenum is called the promoter, iron is called the catalyst. Molybdenum is activates the iron, so that is the meaning of promoter there. This is how the catalytic properties of, by these are showing the property because they are having the large surface area. They are having what? Large surface area. If any element, if iron is there, so those are having the large surface area to get to attract the molecules on the surface areas. So surface chemistry you have seen, no? So the same way palladium, if you take, they have the large surface area. If you are doing the reduction reactions, what happens? Molecules of alkenes and hydrogens can sit there, then both can discuss and both will react. So that's how they provide the large surface area. So they will ask you in the examination, what is the reason for the catalytic properties of the D block elements? So these are the reasons: provide large surface area, ability to adapt multiple oxidation states. Here what happens? Those gets the different. You can see iron, which type of that can form? Fe+2 is also possible, Fe3 plus also possible, like that. So here one important thing is that, for example, iron in the oxidation of reactions 2I minus, in the oxidation of I minus, S2O8 2 minus. This where you have studied this reaction, did you study anywhere? Rohini, have you studied anywhere this reaction? Where you have studied? Where you
Yeah.
have studied?
P block elements.
Very good. In the P block elements, we have seen I minus is easily gets the oxidation from -1 to the, in the presence of, this is hyposulfate, sodium hypo. This is called Na2H2O8. The formula usually as a ion, this type of reactions can take place. Here no D block element is there. But to promote how this reaction basically is happening, we required some catalysts, like in the form of Fe3 plus or Fe2 plus you can take. So how, for example, how this reaction basically happening? If you take catalyst of Fe3 plus, that reacts with the I minus first. So I minus, what happens? Fe3 plus can convert into the Fe2 plus, and I2 is generating. Then what happens? This Fe3 plus Fe2 plus basically is not that much stable. Whatever this S2O minus is there, S2O8 2 minus is there, that will react. These reactions you make it down, okay, in your notes, class notes, because this is not given in the presentation. Because I wanted to explain this, that is the reason I have not given. That's how SO4 2 minus. So you can see in the first case, iodine is coming. By whom it is coming? By coming the by giving the Fe3 plus catalyst. Fe3 plus can be anything, like FeCl3 can be there, or Fe2 SO4 thrice. So all these are the Fe3 plus ions only it contains. That should have Fe3 plus. The what that is taking Fe3 plus converting to Fe2 plus by taking the electrons from here, that is giving the I2. Since Fe2 plus is not means that is having the capability of getting the different type of oxidation states. Then Fe2 plus, what is happening then? Once again Fe2 plus is giving the electrons to the S2O8, then that is converting the SO4 to the S2O8 to the SO4. Here this we are talking about here. This is the catalyst now. Without this, this will not take place. Okay, this reactions you take. Okay, it is given in your textbook in the catalytic properties. All of you have to make it down. Have you written, or you want me to show? All of you write this one. First you write this one, this reaction. Iron catalyzes the reaction between iodide and persulfate ions. You write that point. Iron 3 catalyzes the iron 3 catalyzes the iron 3 catalyzes the reaction between here I will write, okay, reaction between iodide and persulfate ions. So when you write this catalytic properties, this point you have to include. So here what is happening? Fe3 plus to the Fe2 plus, again Fe2 plus to the Fe3 plus. Why it is? Because compared with the Fe3 plus, I minus is, it is taking the electron. So it is giving the electrons. So I minus is the good reducing agent here. So that is the reason what is happening. I minus is giving the electrons to the Fe3 plus and that is converting to the Fe2 plus. It is powerful here. So compared with here Fe2 plus H2O 2 minus, Fe2 plus is the good oxidizing agent. Easily that can oxidize. But here it cannot oxidize. What happens? That can reduce by itself. Though it is not possible, it is not the D5 configuration. Since it is the powerful, that's how iron can get to the Fe3 plus, then Fe2 plus. When that Fe2 plus can come contact with the H2O 2 minus, that will convert to the sulfate. Means that is oxidizing this one. Itself it is getting oxidized, but it is getting the reduced the other one. It is reducing the other one. So that is the meaning of that one. Okay. Is it clear this point? Can we go to the next point? If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. Ability to form complexes, their oxidation states. Okay. Complex compounds can be formed. Complex compounds in the sense like coordination compounds. So that we will see when we start the coordination compounds. Coordination compounds are like, I have, for example, chromium, I have written one thing, CrNH36 and Cl3 I have written. Here Cr2 plus, Cr3 plus. Here because I said this is the charge of 3 minus. So here it is the 3 plus, the same only here it will be. Okay, why that will come, that you will study in the coordination compound. The same way CrNH3 6 Cl2 also can be possible. What is the oxidation number of chromium here, Rohini? What is the oxidation number of chromium here? Here I have written Cr3 plus. What is the oxidation?
2 plus.
2 plus, very good. Okay, here it is 2 minus, so that's how 2 plus, the same only charge will be here. So that's how it is the Cr2 plus. So different complex compounds can be formed. So that is the meaning of that one. Ability to form complexes, their oxidation state. So Cr3 plus is the oxidation state and Cr plus 2 is the oxidation state. And interstitial compounds. Another important point is coming here. Interstitial compounds are those. What is the meaning of interstitial compounds? Try to understand that one. What is the interstitial compounds? Those which are formed small atoms like hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen are trapped inside the crystal lattice of metals. So such type of compounds are called the interstitial compounds. So for example, manganese is there. Okay. For example, I take the crystal of manganese. Okay, this type of, if manganese, this type of element is having this type of space. Okay, so what happens? Nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon, these are the smaller elements. So those can come, so between the atoms are will be there like here. Okay, we know the structures of like BCC structures. I said, for example, BCC means body centered, one will be there. So here's also atoms will be there. What happens? In the place of one manganese atom, nitrogen will come and nitrogen sit. That will replace the manganese and nitrogen sits. So those become smaller ones. So that can be nitrogen, different one, carbons like that. So if that is small elements are coming and sitting, so these type of are called the interstitial compounds. Very, very important. Interstitial compounds we call it. Now, that is the meaning of interstitial compounds. Due to why it is forming interstitial compounds trapped inside the crystal lattice. Okay, we know that crystal lattice of the metals different, like body centered cubic, face centered cubic, okay, cubic centered. So all this in between, such type of crystal spaces will be there in between, that will be trapped in between, that will be trapped in between the atoms only. Those will sit in between that one, because those are having the smaller sizes. Due to large number of interstices, why? Because d block element shows those are having the vacant spaces in in the if you see the crystal lattice, those are having the major spaces in the crystal lattice of the transition metals. So this is the reason you have to write why it is show they show interstitial compounds. Then you have to write due to large number of interstices, vacant spaces. Then interstitial compounds are non-stoichiometric and are neither typically ionic nor a covalent. So these are the some different compounds. If I say FeCl3, if I say for example FeCl3, that is the ionic compound. If I say MnO4, it is the ionic compound or covalent compound, Vidisha? If I say MnO4, is it ionic compound or covalent compound, Vidisha? On your camera, Vidisha.
Covalent compounds.
Yes, very good. So I said if the oxidation number is increases, that will show covalent nature. So that is the reason what happens if FeCl3 type of compounds or MnCl2 compounds, those are the ionic compounds. If Mn2O7, the type of compounds are, those are like what it is, covalent compounds. But these interstitial compounds are, these are not a ionic or a covalent. These are a different type of compounds. You can see here 0.56. You have never seen this type of compounds. In 11th, you have studied already in one of the concept. Here, this type of that will come. For hydrogen is not completely 180s. With one vanadium, with for example, VH.5 means what is exactly meaning here? With one vanadium, 0.5 of atom is sharing with the one hydrogen. So like for example, I will write, for example, this is vanadium. Okay, one atom of vanadium. Here, this is hydrogen is not inside, it is placed. Where it is placed, this is like half part of the with one vanadium atom. So another one where it is with another atom is there. So like that. Okay, that depends. So here I mentioned it is 0.56 in that way it is mentioned. It means that it is not exactly half. It is like one is the major portion, another one the point next 0.44 is the another portion. So that's how it is the. Okay, so this is the meaning of that one. Interstitial compound, different compounds are given. What are that one? Titanium, carbon, and these are the few examples. In the examination, they will give you options. They will ask you which one are the interstitial compounds. You have to find it out. These are the non-metals. Usually these are the non-metals, carbon, nitrogen, and smaller also. So these smaller elements, what happens? They go and they sit. You have to find it out. If they have given like Fe and manganese, copper and zinc, if they give you, and another one is Mn4N. So which one is the ally, which one is the interstitial compound, like that they will ask you. So copper plus zinc, which is the brass, that is what? That is the interstitial ally it is. But interstitial compound is this one. Which one? With the non-metals or smaller elements. Is it clear, Aishwarya? What are the interstitial compounds means?
Yes.
Very good. So what is the importance of this one is they show they have high melting points. These are very industrially very useful compounds. They are having high melting points. If you take iron, if you take iron and carbon as interstitial compound, iron and carbon will have higher melting points, higher than those of pure metals. That's what they are saying. So that is the reason if you go to the gold shops, whatever you get the 24 karat gold, that is not the basically a pure one. Okay, to make it more stabilized, they will add some other elements like carbon, this type of. Now, what is this? Usually gold is also alloy and interstitial compounds. Alloy in the sense they will mix with the some other metals like aluminum. That also can be done. Like silver also they can add. If gold and silver, that is called the alloy. If gold and carbon is there, so that is called the interstitial compound. These interstitial compounds will have high melting points and boiling points that can be more stable. They are very hard. Some borides approach very hard. Okay, very hard means you can imagine very strong. Some borides in the sense, for example, cobalt is with the boron. Boron is a small element that will take place in the as interstitial compounds. They can approach as much as diamond hardness. The diamond is the most hardest substance. If you make this type of interstitial compounds, they will have more stronger as like diamond. That's how industrially whatever you use the aluminum vessel you use, but basically it is not the only aluminum. It contains the carbon also. That's how that is the more stable. They retain metallic conductivity. So though you are adding the carbon and this type of interstitial elements, but they will follow the as such the pure metal is having the conductivity. The same way those also will show the conductivity. Those are also good conductivity, and they are chemically inert. They will not react easily with the other elements. For example, iron is there, pure iron, that will get rusted easily. But if you take iron plus carbon, that will not easily rust. These are the some properties of the interstitial compounds, very, very important for the examination point of view. And we have seen what we have seen? Alloys. Alloys with the mixture of brass means copper plus zinc, bronze metals, copper plus tin. Now, what are the F block elements? F block elements means what? The electron is going into the F orbitals. The valency electron, where it is going into the F block elements, so that is F orbitals. That is the reason we call it as a F block elements. So basically where it is placed here. So this is the region here, 4F orbital. In this one block only, all the lanthanides are present. So here star you can see in this one block only. That is the reason that is taken here and it is expanded and written here. What are the elements you can see here? Lanthanum. What are the elements of this one? Lanthanum, cerium, prosidium, neodymium, promethium, samarium, europium, gadolinium, terbium, dysprosium, holmium, erbium, ytterbium, thulium, lutetium, like that it is. Okay, so all you have to, no need to by heart it is. Okay, just if you remember, that will be good for you to write the oxidations numbers in the examination. That will be easy for you, especially lanthanides. So like that series you have to remember. Let's see what are those elements. You can see La stands for lanthanum, Ce stands for cerium, here stands for prosidium, neodymium, promethium, samarium, europium, gadolinium, Tb stands for terbium, dysprosium, holmium, erbium, thulium, ytterbium. Okay, this is Y stands for erbium, Yb stands for ytterbium. After that lutetium comes. So that is the reason you can see lutetium here, which is the 71. Okay, so what is happening here in 3D series, 4D series? Here F blocks are coming. Here F block elements are coming. So due to that reason, what is happening here? This element zirconium and hafnium will have the same what, Pooja? This will have, both will have same one thing we have discussed. What is that one? What it will have same? Nebulium and tantalum. These two are most important, especially. What it will have same, Aishwarya? What properties this will have same? Physical property we have discussed.
Same radius.
Very good. Same radius, same size. Due to that one, same physical properties, same chemical properties, this zirconium and hafnium and nebulium and tantalum will show. Why? Because of this F block elements are coming here. In between, what is happening after completion of this? F blocks are coming. The electrons are added here. So all these electrons are added in F orbitals in between. Due to that one, those F orbitals are unable to shield the electrons of the valence electrons. That is the reason what is happening, that will contract. That property is called the lanthanide contraction, which is the most important point in this F block elements. Is it clear, Aishwarya?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, so from where it is starting, 57 to the 71. From lanthanum to the lutetium is called the F block elements. These are called the inner transition metals. Which one? F block elements. Lanthanides. Since the first element is the lanthanum, that is called that's why we are calling it as a lanthanides, which is the 4F. So this one is the 5F series, 5F, which is starting from AC. AC stands for actinoid. So this is, I am talking about this one. AC stands for actinoid. That's how we call it as a actinoids. These are called the lanthanoids. Now, where it is used, basically, all you are using in everyday life only. All you are using in everyday life, but we don't realize which element is present in that one. For example, you can see camera lens, okay, cameras. So what it is used? Lanthanum only. Neodymium in discs, in hard disks and such type of where it is used, neodymium and cerium, okay, here, and gadolinium, this type of apparatus. Terbium, and terbium, where it is used to prepare this desktops, okay, the mobiles, in the preparation of the screens, that is used. In lens, in the specs preparation, so in such type of preparation, this europium is used. Like that, in everyday life we are using so many lanthanides and actinides. So what is the electronic configuration? Basically, so here it is 57 to the 71. So this is how the most stable ion for these lanthanides are the Ln3 plus. Ln stands for lanthanides, okay. Ln stands for all, as a common we are saying it as a Ln3 plus. So which one is the stable one? Is basically major is Ln3 plus. Those are majorly stable as a like LnCl3, LnBr3, such type of compounds more exist. That's how the electronic configuration of Ln3 also you have seen here separately. What is the electronic configuration here? Xenon 5d1 and 6s2. So what is this lanthanum? Is it a D block elements or F block elements? Aishwarya, what do you feel? This lanthanum, is it a D block elements or F block elements?
F block, sir.
F block. Very good. So, but here if you see the electronic configuration, it is not showing the 4F here. Okay. Why it is? Because it is starting. This is not exactly F block element. Lanthanum is not exactly F block element. Because the outermost electron, where it is going, last electron, 5d. Okay. So here, but in a ion form, it is more exist as in ion forms. There it contains the 4F. 6s2, these two electrons will go, that one electron will go, but whatever it is the 4F is there, that will be presence here. That is the meaning of this one. So this is how electronic configurations, all of you go through that one, where it is going, the last electron after 6s2, that is going to the 4F. 4F and 4F3, 4F4, 4F5. How many total electrons will be present in F orbital? Vidisha, what are the how many that can be accommodated?
7 orbitals, sir.
Total electrons
14.
14. So you can see, okay, here it is the case is 4F1. That is the to get the stabilization, that is not show this type of electron configuration, but 4F2, 4F3, 4F4, 4F5, 4F6, 4F7, 4F7. Why it is again here? To get the half filled electronic configuration. You can see this will have 4F7. That is the reason to get that one. This type of it is not like 4F8 here. It is 4F7 to get the stable configuration. Then 4F9. Again the same case. To get the stable configuration, 4F9, 4F10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's how it comes the lutetium. Lutetium is completely filled. So this lutetium also will not have the major properties of the lanthanides. So you can see here different, these are the words of that particular element. So few words, let us see. What is this name of this one? Samarskite. What is the Samarskite? The formula of this one. YB, Fe, 2, NB, Tanta, many are there. This is the ore means. With different type of elements will be there that you have to purify to get the this. So what are the F block elements present in this one? Which is the F block element, Vidisha? Which is present in this one? Samarskite.
YB.
Very good. Okay, YB, terbium is present in this one. So that's how This is one of the ore for this one. In monazite, which one is present, Pooja? In monazite, which one is present? Aishwarya, which one, which block elements are present in monazite? Huh?
LA, sir.
La cerium also. Okay, cerium also. This also cerium and lanthanum. These are as a mixture of elements are present as a ore. Many are there. These are not a compound. This is ore composition. You can purify this from this cerium. You can get lanthanum. You can get neodymium. Different elements you get. Then fluorescite. So in the fluorescite, which one the F black element is there, Rohini? SM, very good. Samarium. That is called the samarium. So these are the ores of that particular elements. So this is how this will be present here. Okay, where it will present? Here it will present. Here. Okay, if it is usually in periodic tables, if you see a block 4F is denoted by single star, double star means that is the actinoids. So this
So why
lanthanide,
it is given as a double star, sir?
just for identification purpose. So like for example, this is given separately, boron, silicon, germanium, because these are the metalloids. I like that. So these are the metals, these are the alkali metals, these are the alkali earth metals, these are the noble gases. Different colors are given, no? The same it for the identification. Here it is given. It means that this star is this one. This double star is, these double stars are present. For identification purpose, it is given. Okay. At many times it
Yes,
is
sir.
only used. So lanthanide contractions we have seen, very important for the examination. The gradual decrease in atomic and ionic size of lanthanides. So what happens? The lanthanide sizes also will be decreases gradually with increase in atomic number is called lanthanide contraction. What they are saying that if you go here, okay, all these will have almost similar atomic radius. Usually what happens if you go across the period, so here it is exceptional cases, but usually if you go like this, sizes will be decreases. Sizes will be decreases if you go across the period. But in this case, what happens? Protons are adding, electrons also adding. Where the electrons are adding? Electrons are adding in the f orbitals only. So due to poor shielding effect of the black elements, the sizes, all these will have the almost similar sizes. So that is the reason all the physical properties and chemical properties are almost similar of these elements. Every element are very close in the chemical properties. Okay. Called the lanthanide contraction. This definition you have to learn exact. The gradual decrease in atomic and ionic size of lanthanides with increase in atomic number is called lanthanide and contraction. So I said the two elements. In while you read the D block elements, I have said which one? Two elements are having the same type of atomic sizes. Which one those are? Can anybody tell? Which one that one? Aishwarya, do you remember? I said two elements are having the same type of. Do you remember, Vidisha? What are those one? Okay, I will show you periodic table only. Then tell me.
European.
Which one are having the same atomic sizes? Rohini, which one are having the same atomic sizes in this one? Vidisha. Vidisha, are you able to hear me? What I am talking?
Yes, sir.
So which one is having the same radii, same atomic sizes? Do you know or not? Rohini, Aishwarya, you tell whatever you know.
Ruthenium.
हाँ?
Ruthenium, sir.
रुथीनियम, रुथीनियम किधर है? रुथीनियम तो इधर है. अरे यार
C.
मैंने क्या एक्सप्लेन किया? zirconium and hafnium will have the same sizes. This only will be asked in the examination. These are the main important. These zirconium and hafnium, because here 4F is coming, nebulum and tantalum. Okay, and this is also reason for lanthanide contraction. And these all lanthanides are having the same atomic sizes. That is also reason for the lanthanide contraction. Those are not decreasing the sizes. That is almost maintaining the sizes. Is the meaning of that one. causes of lanthanide contraction. Why it is? As atomic number increases, the positive charge also increases. What is happening? The atomic number increases, the positive inside the nucleus charges also increases. As atomic number increase, other things decreases. So as the atomic positive charge is increasing, what are the things will be decreases? Atomic radius, almost it is equal to the ionic radius, and the screening effect is less. So that is the meaning of that one. Due to the screening effect of Allah, that is the meaning of. And these reasons we will see. Due to the close similarity in electronic configuration, so all the electronic configuration is having the same similarity. F block orbitals are having the same electronic configuration. The lanthanides are have the identical chemical properties. All will have the same chemical properties. The lanthanide contraction also explains the decreasing basicity of the lanthanides. So basicity, the nature of the basicity also is explained by the lanthanide due to this lanthanide contractions only. Usually those are the metals, those are expected to be good basics in the solutions, but those are not that much basicity, that decreasing the basicity going across the period. Why? This is because of, this is the reason. Those are having the same almost sizes. Certain pairs of elements such as zirconium and hafnium, nebulum and tantalum, and molybdenum and wolfram, these are have almost identical size. These are almost have identical size against the expected size increases. So what we see, actually we should expect the increase in the size if you go down the group, but due to F orbital, this is also having the same size. This one, zirconium and hafnium, nebulum and tantalum, molybdenum and wolfram. These are majorly these are. So that you have to remember always these element names: zirconium and hafnium, nebulum and tantalum, and molybdenum and wolfram, due to increase in atomic number. This is a direct consequence of the lanthanide contraction. All these are we are discussing. So most important topic, so whatever it is, try to correlate with the lanthanide contraction. Okay, then what is the next point that we will see now? Okay, what are these elements now? Who will tell now? What are these elements? Pooja, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So what are the elements which are having the same sizes from the D block elements? We have discussed a few elements, right, which are having the same sizes. So what are those
Yes,
ones?
sir.
What are those one? Zirconium and what is the another one?
Half.
Half zirconium, right? Zirconium and another one is half zirconium.
No, sir.
Uh-huh. So what is the next one? What is the next one, Rohini? Zirconium and
NB.
NB. यार अभी डिस्कस किया यार आपसे, फिर NB बोल रहे हो. Zirconium and hafnium.
Yes.
Zirconium and hafnium, HF. Okay. दूसरा NB and TA, nebulum and tantalum. And next, what is the next one, Aishwarya? What is the third one? टंगस्टन एंड
Tungsten.
एक ही नहीं होता है, दो का होता है.
Wolfram. W.
Molybdenum and wolfram. Okay, MO and W.